I just had a nightmare that I had to choose between 40 different brands of cereal. Then I realized it wasn't a nightmare at all. This was the United States. Hi friends, I'm Danielle Paisalis here at Expat Livin. If you've ever wondered what it's really like to leave the United States behind and start fresh abroad, you're in the right place. I moved to Spain with my husband and our 4 kids about 4 years ago, and let me tell you, it's been one of the most rewarding, eye-opening experiences of our lives. Today, I want to share some honest reflections about life in Europe compared to the United States, the good, the bad, and the surprising. So let's get started. Number 1, let's talk about consumer choices, abundance versus simplicity. When I go back to the United States, and I was just recently there, I'm always floored by the sheer number of options in the supermarket. You don't just buy cereal, you face a wall of cereal, separated by flavors, brands, generics, whole wheat, corn, you name it. It's like the cereal Olympics. Hey, cereal breakfast stuff. Look at this, you can buy any kind of Pop-Tart you want, which I'm gonna buy. I love me some Pop-Tarts. Look at this cereal by the bag. Then you have a whole aisle of cereal options. All right, so the prices here aren't as bad. It's $4.98, $6.23, $28. See how much the Cheerios are. Oh, the Cheerios on sale for $4.44. Roll back. Oh, yummy. And look how much milk. But here in Spain and most European countries, well, choices are a lot more limited. You'll usually find a handful of options, but not 50. At first, it felt restrictive, but honestly, now I find it really refreshing. I don't spend 15 minutes debating which cereal to buy, if I even buy it at all. And I know what's available. I make a decision and I move on. Then I can continue enjoying a walk through my neighborhood. It's less choice, but also less stressful. And it's one of those subtle cultural differences that actually frees up your mental energy for more important things. The same is true for medicine, okay? There's a cold medicine aisle, a tummy trouble aisle, allergies, kids, vitamins, eyes, teeth, and so forth. This is a huge difference from Europe. First of all, you have to go to a pharmacy and oftentimes talk to the pharmacist to see what they recommend or what they have in stock. There's not an endless supply of very expensive, I might add, drugs on the shelves. Again, it felt, I felt that this was very limiting for me at first, but since living in Europe, I actually don't stock my bathroom shelves with different over-the-counter medicines. There is no real push for these items here. Number 2, let's talk about healthcare. Speaking of medicine, healthcare is another huge difference. In the United States, I always felt this underlying anxiety, like what if one of the kids gets hurt? What if I have to go to the ER? Because, even with insurance, you're looking at bills in the thousands. I have family and friends who spend thousands per month just to have healthcare insurance. And when their child does get sick, they have to spend hundreds or even thousands more just to pay for the doctor bills. Here in Spain and most of Europe, healthcare is not only affordable, in most cases it's free, but it's also accessible. I don't think twice about taking my kids to the doctor. Prescriptions cost a fraction of what they would cost in the United States. And routine visits, they don't feel like a financial crisis waiting to happen. That peace of mind, well, it's priceless. And honestly, it's one of the main reasons why I don't see myself moving back to the United States anytime soon. Number 3, fast food. Let's talk food because, well, priorities, my friends. In the United States, convenience is king. Drive-thrus, bottomless soda refills, meals served in minutes. It's quick, but the trade-off is health. I just visited my family in the United States, and each day we had a different fast food. Now, this was mainly because I was on the move, but it made me realize just how hard it was to avoid fast food unless you are cooking your meals every day yourself. In Spain, the rhythm is slower for sure, and food is fresher. They do have fast food restaurants, but I'd say people typically don't eat there, they do, but they mostly shop at local markets or eat at local places. Meals are social events, they're not fuel stops. And portion sizes, let's just say I'm not leaving restaurants feeling like I need to roll out the door. I won't lie, my family and I do feel healthier here simply because the environment really does encourage it. Number 4 is transportation. If you've lived in the United States, you know the car is basically an extension of your body. Even if you just want milk, you often have to drive to get it. Now, I do understand because people have more space in which to live. And so, unless you're from a big city, you may not have access to a corner grocery store nearby. But even in the United States, if you live 5 minutes away from your school or the market, like we did, most often we would drive. And why is that? It's not because we're lazy. It's because, we're always on the run and trying to move quickly. Here in Spain, life is built for walking. My kids walk to school, we stroll to cafes, we take public transport without even thinking twice about it. And when I go back to the United States, I realize how rare it is to see people on foot unless they're, exercising. And speaking of which, walking isn't just good for your health, it changes the way you connect with your community. You bump into your neighbors, you stop for a chat, maybe you notice details that you never see from behind the wheel. Number 5, we need to talk about safety and social climate. This is a tough one, but it has to be said. In the United States, the constant news of shootings and violence creates a background level of stress. When I worked as a teacher in the United States, we actively practiced lockdown and shooter drills in our school and in our classroom. Now, I know from living most of my life in the United States that many areas are very safe, but the constant stress of negative news is real, and it makes you think about the safety of your family when they are not when they're at school or at the mall, when they're not with you. But here in Spain, safety feels different. My kids play outside. I don't carry the same knot of worry in my stomach. It doesn't mean that bad things, never happen, but the culture here of fear isn't the same. That shift alone has made our quality of life so much richer. And number 6 is work culture, hustle versus balance. The American work ethic, we all know it. Long hours, limited vacations, constant pressure to do more, earn more, be more. It builds resilience for sure, but it also burns people out. In Spain, the culture is more about balance. Vacations are longer, evenings are for family, and nobody blinks if you shut down your laptop at a reasonable hour. And honestly, at first I thought, how does anything get done around here? But then I realized that things do get done. It's just that people don't sacrifice their sanity in the process. So I'm not saying that one is right and the other is wrong, but the trade-offs are real. And for me, I'll take the slower pace and the longer lunches any day. Number 7 is social pressure and identity. In the United States, I often felt judged based on what I did for a living or where I went to school. It's a very status-driven culture. Here in Spain and many European countries, conversations are more about who you are than what you do. Nobody really cares if you're a lawyer or a teacher. They want to know if you're good company at the dinner table. And in fact, the conversation as to, what you do or what do you do, this almost never comes up with locals. And that's been a refreshing change, especially raising kids who don't feel pressured to tie their worth to their career before they're even out of high school. So here's the big takeaway. Moving abroad, at least for me, and specifically moving to Spain, has been about trading some of the convenience and speed of the United States for peace of mind, balance, and stronger sense of community. If you've ever dreamed about making a move like this, and you don't have to do it alone. That's why I created Expat Livin. It was to help families and individuals just like you navigate the ups, downs, and everything in between of relocating abroad. So if you've liked this video, please like, share, or click the link below to join our expat community. We also offer step-by-step courses, live support, and real stories from people who've done exactly what you want to do. Because the truth is, life abroad isn't perfect, but for so many of us, it's absolutely worth it. Again, I'm Danielle Paisalis, and I can't wait to see you inside Expat Livin.